Hi there, and welcome to the video on uploading a book to CreateSpace. My name is Barb Drozdowicz, and I serve as a technical trainer to authors. So I deal with not the craft of writing, but all of the other things that need to be done as authors promote their book, run a website, all this other sort of stuff. I've just finished writing a book on self-publishing, and one of the comments I get from a lot of authors is they feel that the process of self-publishing is too difficult for them. And from my point of view, it's just a matter of going to a website and uploading a bunch of information. And so the purpose of this video is to walk you through the process of uploading a book to CreateSpace. CreateSpace is the arm of Amazon that you can use to create a print-on-demand book. It is one of the alternatives. You can also create a print book through the KDP dashboard, but in this video we're going to talk about CreateSpace. So the website for this is createspace.com. This is what the login screen looks like. I'm just going to switch over to here, and this is us already logged in. So I have a number of books that are published already, so you can see a list. What we're going to do is add a new title. And see if I can click on it properly. There we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through and enter the information and talk a little bit about what's required in various different places. So the name of the project, we're going to name it after the book. There we go, and it's going to be a paperback, and we're going to walk through the guided section of this website. So click on Get Started. So it's going to ask us information about the book. So the title of the book is How to Self-Publish a Book. You'll notice over here I have a Word document. One of the things that makes this whole process easier is if you gather all of the information that you'll need on a Word document, for example, and then when we're entering it, we're just going to simply copy and paste information in. So you'll notice that the book has a tagline, and I'm going to copy that and paste it in here. Primary author, I'm going to enter my name. I have the ability to add contributors, and you can see there's quite a large list of contributors. Many people like to name their editor or their illustrator if they've written a children's book. I just leave it as my name. If this book is part of a series, then you will check this box. You will enter the series title, the volume number, the edition number. In this case, this is the first time this book has been published, and so we're going to call this edition 1, and I'm not actually going to list it there. It asks what language the book is available in. It's available in English. Publication date. I'm going to put today's date down as the publishing date. That's not actually true because it's going to go through a check process, but Amazon will allow me, or CreateSpace will allow me to enter that date. I'm then going to go here and click on Save and Continue. It's going to churn a little bit. There we go. It's then going to allow me to provide an ISBN or use the free CreateSpace assigned ISBN. I'm going to do that for this particular book. Click on Assign. There we go, and I'm now going to click on Continue. It then asks me a bunch of different pieces of information. I've already formatted this book. I already have a cover graphic. So at this point, I'm going to simply upload some information. So the interior of the book is going to be black and white. It doesn't need to be color. The paper color is going to be white, not cream. These are my preferences. The trim size is 6x9. All of my books are that size. You want to make sure that your book fits in with others of the same genre. And then it wants to know the interior file. So I'm going to click on Browse, And I'm going to go to downloads and find a PDF. There we go, how to self-publish a book print. And click on open. It's going to load it up. It's then going to ask about bleed and give an explanation for bleed if you don't know what that is. This is a textbook or a book filled with text as opposed to color graphics. So the text will end before the end of the page. It wants to know if I want to run automated print checks and view formatting issues online. So I'm going to leave that checked and I'm going to click on save. And it uploads it and then goes through a processing process. That's sort of a double word, but anyways. Sometimes this can take a fair amount of time. There we go. And you'll see that you now have another screen, and it goes through the file and checks for a variety of different things. And then once we get through this, the next step we will be able to do an online visual analysis of it. So this does actually take several minutes. So rather than having dead air, I'm going to stop the video at this point and we're going to continue when that is done. Hi there and welcome back. I stopped the video so that we wouldn't be staring at the screen while it finished its processing of the file. At this point, we have the interior file uploaded and ready to be checked. I can't actually check the file on this particular computer because my web browser doesn't support the Flash player. So I do this on a different computer. If you're doing this for your own book, click on Launch Interior Reviewer and you can go through a virtual view of your book, check it by page. If there's any overt errors like text is over bleed lines or something like that, it will tell you, and then you can look at them and see if they are going to be of a concern. For now, I'm just going to click on Skip Interior Review, and it says, are you sure? Yes, I'm sure, because I've actually already done this on a different computer. So now we deal with the book cover. So do we want matte or glossy? I actually like glossy covers on my books. It's a personal preference. You can choose something that fits in with the books in your genre. I have an uploaded, or sorry, a PDF of my cover graphic already generated, and so I'm going to upload it. And you notice as soon as I click there, it gives me a window to browse for it. So let's see if I can find it in this big mess here. Let's see, there it is. Print PDF, open. And so the file is uploaded. I'm then going to save. And it uploads the cover so that it can be checked. There we go. Now it then tells you the name of the file. It's uploaded. Do you want to make changes? I don't in this case, so I'm going to click on continue. It then gives me a summary of the information on my book. At this point, we submit files for CreateSpace to review them. So I'm going to click on this button. We can continue further and enter information, but the book won't be able to go live until CreateSpace finishes checking the interior files and the cover files. So you'll see here, files are checked within 24 hours to ensure your setup information is correct and your files are printable. And it points out that you'll be emailed the result once the review is complete. If you have a cover designer that knows what they're doing and has created your cover PDF for you, probably everything will be fine. And if you didn't see any visual problems with the interior, also likely you'll be fine. So now we're just going to click on continue. And we're going to talk about where the book is going to be for sale, what price it is, and the description and whatever else. So if you look at this screen, it allows you to have two different types of distribution. So standard distribution, which is Amazon.com and Amazon Europe. The expanded, you have a choice of the libraries and academic institutions and some CreateSpace Direct and bookstores and online retailers. I don't use the expanded distribution, so I'm going to leave that blank. I'm going to leave it as Amazon and Amazon Europe and click on Save and Continue. There's different reasons for doing different things. I talk about some of this in the book, but a lot of it is strategy. So now we're going to come to the point where it wants a price. So you'll notice here the minimum list price for this title is $6.85. So in other words, $6.85 is break even. I don't earn any royalties whatsoever. So I'm going to put it at $10.99 and calculate. So you'll notice if I have it priced at $10.99 and if it's purchased from Amazon.com, I earn $2.48 royalty. However, if it's purchased in the US based on pounds sterling or euros, these are the amount, or this is the amount of money that I can earn. You'll notice here there's a checkbox that says yes, suggested GBP price based on the US price, and same with the euros. So you can price those independently. I tend to leave them the price based on the US dollar price. And, you know, again, strategy, do you want the book worth or to cost more so that you get more royalty, or do you want it as cheap as possible and hopefully sell more copies? Again, that's a personal choice. So I'm going to click on Save and Continue. It's going to churn. There we go. We've done the cover. Save and Continue. There we go. Okay, next is the description. So the description is the book blurb, or the description of the book that appears on Amazon when the book is for sale. I have this actually on my cheat sheet. So I'm just going to find where it starts here. And I am going to, oh man, there we go, highlight it, copy, and paste it in, rather than typing it fresh. Okay, bisect category. So if the bisect category is similar to the categories that we choose on CreateSpace, or sorry, on KDP, it is what words or what groups we want this book associated with. So I'm just going to stop the video as I work my way through choosing this, and we'll come back and fill the rest of the information in. Okay, we're back. I've entered a particular category that I have pre-chosen. You can also enter a bisect code, and there are websites that will help you find a code that is appropriate, or find the number that is appropriate. I might talk about this in the book. We'll move on. Do I want to add an author biography? I actually have this added as part of my profile, so I won't. But if this is the first book that you're uploading, enter your bio here. It wants to know what the language is of the book. This book is written in English. Country of publication. It's published, in my mind, in the United States, since it's done through CreateSpace. The next thing we come to are categories. So these are words that will be used when somebody is searching for this book. So again, they're on my cheat sheet. So I copy and paste them in, and then I go through and add categories. Oops, it's adding the description in. Let's see if I can get rid of that and try this again. Okay, so I'm going to go through and add commas. Now when you enter these, there's going to be a certain number of keywords that you can have and a certain number of characters you're going to be allowed. So I'm just doing this fresh, so we'll see if it's going to allow it. Well, looks like it's fine. So this book does not contain adult content and it's not large print. So neither one of those are checked. However, if that is appropriate for your book, you would check it. So if I'm going to click on save and continue. And yeah, so it's going to say specify no more than 5 keywords. So let me go through this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let me get rid of this one. Save and continue. Oh, it's going to be difficult. So I'm just going to remove part of this because it's going to only allow 25 characters. So I'm going to leave 1 in place and then come back after the video is done and correct this. There we go. Now it's going to affect it. Okay, so you'll notice here it gives you this warning. Your files are still being reviewed. A final print ready cover file is needed to continue to KDP, etc., etc. So everything is done for now, and I sit and wait for the email from CreateSpace to tell me if everything is fine. And as you can see, this took, maybe about 15 minutes of time. It's not particularly difficult in any way. And as far as I'm concerned, doable by any skill